Welcome back to Josh's place. Um, Hope all you guys are doing well out there. Just because your Facebook says you're doing well doesn't mean you're exactly doing well. Yeah, that's more like something you put on. It's like putting on a front. I think Facebook's like putting on a front. Trying to show your best side. Even if your best side isn't what you're feeling at the time. Okay. Okay. What am I trying to say? Okay. Yeah. That last YouTube video was a bit bleh. It's not something you want to see somebody going through, you know what I'm saying? Usually you like to hear some good stuff. Well, I got through that whole episode that I was going through, so we're good there. Reworking my mind a little bit to get into better mental status, have a better mental health. I had started going to the library and like looking for books that would help me, you know. I did find a book. It was pretty good. It was basically it's kind of funny actually. It's like everything I learned from therapy, counseling, back when I used to go all the time. It's now a course. Like it's a connection course. It teaches you how to connect with people. This is not gonna make it. Cut. And again, you know, I see videos of women out there putting it all out there kind of thing, but I don't really see any guys throwing it all out there. But then again, I'm not looking for that either, so that might be why. Usually the guys are always like talking about something unrelated to themselves. And I don't talk a lot, dude. I really don't talk at all. Like, some of the relationships I've had, I wonder how they last as long as they did last. For me, it's kind of like a energy thing. Like if I'm feeling good energy from somebody, I'll hang out with them, you know. But I usually don't say much. Hardly ever say anything. Sometimes I'll get into a little thing and like this, but it's not. Well, I've started doing that. Yes, I'm sitting in my truck again. It's kind of like it's like my bedroom right now. I'm just so glad that, oh man, I'm glad I have this truck. I'll put it that way. Thank you. Persons that helped me with that. Trying to make another video. Trying to make this one better than the last one, because the last one was not very good. It was kind of off the deep end kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? But I did tell you guys a little bit about myself, like the whole being sober for 10 years and then being celibate for 10 years. I think I'm going to start off talking about that, but then again, I don't know, because I've been also thinking about starting. I don't know where to begin at, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of my problem right now. And it's like I keep telling myself Actually, I don't tell myself that much, but I'm thinking about it right now, and it's like you already gave them something to hear about, so talk about it. Well, I mean, getting sober and stuff, I mean, most people know why you get sober, because when you're not sober, it's just, you're mentally fogged, is kind of the way I think of it. Like, your brain's chemicals and everything, electrons firing off in your head, it's all distorted. And you really don't realize it until after you've been sober for so long. Like, once you're sober for so long, then like you look back at those days and you're like, wow, man, I was a lot more messed up than I thought, kind of thing, So I mean, that's why I got sober. Plus, like, the way I got into smoking weed and drinking and everything, my parents were sober all the way up till we were like 19. Well, I was 19. My other brothers were a little bit younger, and my other brother was older. But so like basically after I graduated, they split up and started drinking and doing drugs, and we got caught up in that cycle, And I think, I mean, off and on, I tried to quit off and on throughout the whole time, but it's hard to do that when you're always around it and it's given to you for free because, hey, be a part of the in crowd. Hey, be a part of what we're doing, and don't worry about being, well, don't worry about being yourself, I guess. Just be a part of what we're doing. And I mean, if it wasn't for them getting sober in the first place, like when we were young kids and stuff, then I probably wouldn't have had the mindset that I'm better being sober than doing whatever we were doing. I mean, I think everybody experiences it, like, drugs and alcohol. And I know there's a select few that just never even touch it because, well, they're raised not to, and they have a path that their journey takes them. They're on a journey and their path is pretty straight and narrow, and that's how they like it, which is cool. If you never experience it, I mean, you're not really missing out on much. You get little tingly feelings and fuzzy, and ooh, you feel good and warm, and, well, I don't know about warm, but I mean, there's plenty of times I was cold when I was experiencing it. But warm, fuzzy feelings. It's like, oh, happy. Oh, so happy. Oh, I feel so good. And it only lasts till so long. And then, when you don't have it, you don't have that whole thing of feeling that. Especially, like, depending on your situation. I mean, for some people, they never experience, like, some really shifty, insane shit that just mentally just puts them in a place where they don't want to be. Some people don't ever make it to that part, Some people just drink and drink, and they are liquor capable, I guess you'd say. They're capable of doing that, or they find a way to make it happen for them because they can't go without it. That's for sure. If you drink every day, you can't go without it. I mean, especially if you've been doing that for years, that's something very hard to do. My whole thing wasn't with drinking though, it was marijuana. I seem to get hooked on marijuana. So like when I quit smoking marijuana, I actually like, and I'm kind of, so, so I would smoke it, and then I'd get to the point to where like, okay, I gotta stop doing this. Like this isn't helping me. This is not progressing me in the direction that I want to go on my journey throughout life. You know, there's something better for me. This isn't suitable for what I'm looking to experience out of life. You know, and so I didn't go to a treatment center or AA meetings. Like I didn't have the support that those people had. I actually, when I first started getting sober and everybody I found out about it, it was more like I felt like they're like, I felt a shadow over me, acting like you can't do this. Yeah, go ahead and try to be sober. You're not going to be able to do it, kind of thing. You know you want to have this drink, or you know you want to smoke this bowl with me. And I really had to disconnect myself from all those people that were using and doing in order to, you know, break away from wanting to do it. Because I mean, I did want to do it, don't get me wrong. It's not like it's well, everybody knows about how like you want to do something but you don't actually do it, kind of thing. And it's not really like you're procrastinating or anything. It's just you give into doing it instead of not doing it. Instead of see, yeah, I gotta work on this. All right, but anyways, I think I said that. Enough of that. Hold on, where was I at? So yeah, when I first started trying to quit, nobody knew about it. And then like when I did start quitting, like they noticed. But I didn't get support from them, you know what I'm saying? It was more like they were wanting, like, yeah, let's just see how long you can go without. Let's just see how long you can do this for. Because the stress of everyday life and all your mental problems, yeah, you're probably not going to be able to quit. And that's something I had to fight through. Like I had to fight through that mentally. And but I can only imagine now, like having all that support, like, cause I helped a friend get into a treatment center, and it was just like I knew her chapter and my chapter were gonna, her new chapter and my new chapter, I knew was gonna pull us apart. You know, we weren't gonna be as good as friends as we once were. I didn't think about it back then, but now that time has passed, I kind of realized, like, I think she felt like I was her ticket to becoming a functional drinker. Somebody who can socially drink with other people and still maintain a healthy lifestyle along with the work ethic and everything. But she was when we started that out, like, yeah, like my whole family drinks, man, and they're able to do it. But the thing that she wasn't able to do, she wasn't able to put it down. Like when she was awake, she wake up, she had to have some. And of course she made the excuse up of, I gotta get the hair of the dog or something like that. I don't even really remember how that goes. Gotta chop off the hair of the dog or something like that. I don't know. I don't know that saying that well. It's because I haven't been a part of that scene in so long, man. That vocabulary is not a part of my vocabulary anymore. I don't care about hair of dog or wake and bake. I mean, it's not something I talk about anymore. But, so, I mean, like I was saying though, I started off and I'd go like, I don't know, a week or two. Then I'd get sucked back into it. And then it progressed like that. Like every time I quit, it would be for a longer amount of time. So after the week or two, I'd quit and I'd make it to a month. After I quit, then or I'd make it to a month and get sucked back in. And then after that, it was 3 months I made it to. And then I got sucked back in. And then after that, it was 6 months. And I got sucked back in. And then 6 months happened. I think I did it a few times. I'd go like 6 months. And I could be wrong. It could have been the 3 months. I'm pretty sure I did 6 months twice. No, I think it was 3 months. Yeah. I'd go 3 months and then get sucked back and go 3 more months, get sucked back in. And then once I got to 6 months though, it's like, all right, I was still wanting it, of course, you know, because, well, that's what you want. Like your mind hasn't reset yet to being sober, you know, and that usually takes around, for me, I noticed it at 2-year mark, but once I got to 6 months, I was like, okay, I can do this, and I made it a year. And then once I got to the year, I look back and I realized I don't want it as badly. I don't want it. I don't really care for it as much as I used to. And then after a year and a half, I noticed it even more. Like I wanted it even less. So I wanted it less and less as time went on. Once I got 2 years, like, wow, okay. I don't even really think about it anymore, you know. But I did. Of course, I still thought about it. You know, hey, I made a year. Let's go celebrate. Let's go get fucked up because I made a year sober, you know. But I might have done that once. I wouldn't doubt it. Actually, before the whole climb started, from like a couple weeks to a month to 3 months to 6 months, before that whole climb started, I was sober, I think, for like 6 months. And then I decided it's time to do something for myself. And I was trying to go to college. Well, it's a tech school, but you know, I was gonna go do drafting and design buildings and stuff. And I met somebody there that pulled me back into, you know, the same routine. He's a good dude. He just, wish I could have helped him, man, but he actually died of a drug overdose. Not then, but recently he did. So, like I was saying, after the year, I realized I wasn't thinking about it much, and I could have slipped and fell back because I was proud of myself because I made it that far, you know? So, so I actually, I guess you'd say, stood headstrong and made it past that year to a year and a half. And when I got to the year and a half, I was like again, well, if you actually look back at how much you wanted it prior, you know, if you actually sit and reflect, okay, look, how much have I been wanting it these last 6 months? And it's like, oh dang, dude, I haven't thought about it really at all. And then once it got to the 2-year mark, it's like I wasn't thinking about it. I didn't care. The only thing I cared about was like, damn, 2 years, dude. 2 years. And I was like, it's like my mind, like I'm guessing that's when my mind was like reset itself, because like I didn't care for it. I didn't even think about it. Even if I saw it, I didn't. Yeah, at the 2-year mark, I was able to be around it and not even think about wanting it. Actually, it was more like when I was around it, it's like I'm thinking to myself, you guys are wasting your money on that. Which basically you are. I mean, but I mean, you're wasting money on everything, right? But not everything is necessity. So, you know, think about it in that way. All that money you're spending towards all that drinking or pot, you could actually save that up. And that's like what I was thinking about. But the weird thing is, I never actually spent money on it. Hardly ever. Like, I might have bought herb like 5 times. Probably 5. And then drinking, well, I don't think I ever really bought drinks either. It was always just around people that had it, and they just give it to me. I guess, you know, hey man, you could just, you look like you could use one, you know? Hey man, you look like you could use it. Which at the time, I thought the same thing, but like, yeah, I could use it. But I mean, after I got through the 2-year mark, it was something I didn't really think about at all. The only thing I really thought about was like, oh dude, in another year, I'll be sober this many years. And I don't need it. How about that? And I felt it too, like there was no reason for it. And the hardest thing to do is to get through those urges of wanting it. And to not put yourself in a situation to where it's that accessible. Like, you seriously have to cut yourself off to all of it. I mean, for me it was that way. Like, I literally had to cut myself off from all the people that were doing it, and that helped significantly. Could I have, I don't know. if I wasn't able to cut myself off from it, I don't know if I would have quit ever. But, you know, thankfully I was given the opportunity to where I was able to distance myself from it all and really stay focused on myself. What I actually had to do was I had to replace the bad habits with good habits. So my good habits that I used to replace, like anytime, well, when I first started off, I was always thinking about I could use it. So I started playing guitar, taking my mind off of that, and I played a lot. Like I ended up I started off real slow, don't get me wrong. And I've actually had a guitar since I was 12, so I knew some chords and some riffs. But I never played that long though, man. Like at first it was only like a couple hours or something. Actually, I think okay. So yeah, it was a couple hours, but then I worked my way up to playing to like like there was days I was playing and I realized I'd stop and think like, when did I start playing again? And then I'll think about it and I'm like, holy shit, that's 16 hours, bro. How the hell you play guitar for 16 hours, man? And it's like, hey, okay. And it kept my mind occupied, preoccupied, whatever, to where I wasn't thinking about doing anything like, going, getting messed up or anything. And that's really how I started. That's where my support was my guitar. That was my support. That was my support group. I never thought about it like that till now. That was my support right there. Making it to 3 years, it just made me want to make it to like 5 years. And then once I got to 5 years, I was like, shit, I want to 7 years, sounds good. Let's see if I can get to 7 years. So I wasn't thinking in 6 months, let me get 6 months sober, be 6 more months sober, let me be 6 months sober. I started thinking every couple years I'd be proud of myself, kind of thing. Kind of like I already knew I had the year down. Let's see if I can make it the other year, And then once it got all the way up to 7, then you go, well, let's do 10. And then once I got to 10 years, I got this theory in my mind, like it's a mental thing, a hypothesis. I hypothesized that drinking or smoking herb can be a thing to do for relaxation or something like it. There are positive things about it, but only if you're capable of treating it as if it was just, as long as you're doing it to where it's not every day. Shit, and not even every week. Once a month kind of thing, So I was theorizing that I could do it again. Or actually, my whole thing was I wanted to test it out to see if the change of my mental capacity changed the outcome of getting hooked on it, I guess. Alright, but till next time, all of you take care. Have a nice day. Peace be with you. And see you when I get back to you. Peace.